strafing runs that were so deadly on December 7th of 1941.
Pearl Harbor all over again.
Back to the Carrier Task Force of a totally successful raid. We've taken you back to that fateful day. At Pearl Harbor and Hickam Field adjacent, the devastation was awesome. On the eastern edge of Ford Island, in the center of the harbor, 7 battleships lay at berth. The California, Oklahoma, West Virginia, Tennessee, Arizona, and the Nevada. The Japanese hit first with Kate torpedo bombers. Here you see coming in from your left, right there. The initial wave of Kates hit the Oklahoma, California, Nevada, West Virginia, and the Utah. Make no mistake, these Kates were equipped with special shallow-running torpedoes designed specifically for the attack on Pearl Harbor. You see, the shallow waters of Pearl Harbor would not allow the use of normal, deeper-running torpedoes. This took away any claim that the Japanese might have that this was an attack of opportunity. This indeed was a planned attack. Then, ladies and gentlemen and kids, came the Val dive bombers. Armed with 1,700-pound armor-busting projectiles made for 16-inch battleship guns, but converted to aerial bombs, these planes dived down on the Nevada and the Arizona. Anti-aircraft fire that was hastily brought to bear cleared the Vals away from the Nevada on the first wave, but the Arizona wasn't that lucky. As the Val dive bombers continued their runs, a bomb from a Kate bomber stabbed the Arizona through her forward magazines and exploded, touching off more than 1 million pounds of gunpowder. A sailor on the Nevada watched the Arizona jump up at least 15 to 20 feet in the water and break into two, forever entrapping 1,200 American servicemen in an underwater tube. The ship sank in less than 3 minutes. Yes, folks, this is Tora, the surprise Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, and we've taken you back to that fateful day of December 7th, 1941. The Kate torpedo bombers coming in, dropping those special shallow-running torpedoes. High overhead, you see the Zeros diving down, dropping their small bombs, and doing strafing runs. This is it. December 7th, 1941. Tora, the surprise Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. At Bellows Field on the northeast coast of the island, more U.S. Army Air Corps pilots were racing to their P-40s. Just then, Japanese Zeros appeared and started strafing runs. One P-40 pilot was killed just as he stepped into his cockpit. 2 other P-40s were drowned down just as they got off the ground. Well, after the war was over, one of the Japanese pilots strafing one of those airfields remembered that he saw, as he was diving down to make a strafing run, a single soldier standing out of his guard shack shooting at the airplanes with his .45 caliber pistol sidearm. He told everyone that that was the bravest man he had ever seen. Typical of what was going on all over the island of Oahu during this surprise Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. That flight of B-17s rather, 16 of them, coming from the mainland arrived and are immediately attacked by the Japanese Zero. In the confusion, the B-17s were shot at by friend and foe, and the frightened crews landed wherever they could. Yes, folks, this is the surprise Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. You can just imagine what it must have been like as you watch the smoke, listen to the sounds of the bombs, the air raid sirens, and the machine gun fire. What it must have been like with 183 of these Japanese fighters, bombers, and torpedo planes converging on Pearl Harbor and Hickam Field. It was an absolute nightmare in the making. Tora was the call made back to the Carrier Task Force before the first bomb fell. And you're witnessing a recreation of that tragic event on December 7th of 1941. Listen to the sound of bombs, the air raid sirens, the machine gun fire. Look at the K torpedo bombers going by with those torpedoes, those special shallow running torpedoes hanging off the bottom. And you can just imagine if you were a soldier or a sailor or an airman or one of their dependents in Pearl Harbor and Hickam Field, what it must have been like that fateful day. You were expecting a nice peaceful day, and it didn't quite work out that way at all. The strafing runs made by the Zero right in front of you right there. It was a total surprise at 7:55 a.m. on December 7th of 1941, and we have taken you back to that faithful day in a very realistic way to remind you of this important day in history. Because this one event awakened a sleeping giant, and that sleeping giant went on to ensure freedom for the entire world. It all started with this dramatic attack from the Japanese Carrier Task Force at 7:55 a.m. on December 7th, 1941. The B-17s that were coming in landed wherever they could. One in a pineapple field not far from Hickam Field. One B-17 pilot, Major Landon, summed it all up. He was trying to land and he said, what a hell of a way to enter a war. Out of gas, unarmed, and no place to land. 8 B-17s actually made it to Hickam Field. At the conclusion of the surprise Japanese attack on